Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Happy Wednesday. Time for another Wednesday Words of Wisdom video where we're going to continue reading from great words from wise women. So, one thing about me is I am a liar. I'm a liar. Most of the time it's accidental. So I lied. I lied last week, aka 5 minutes ago. I said that we were going to be reading from somebody Woodhull. What's her name? Sorry to this woman. Victoria Woodhull. I lied. Accidentally, we, as in me, skipped over the actual passage that we're going to be reading, which is Ain't I a Woman? By Sojourner Truth. So we're going to read a passage about Sojourner Truth, and then we're going to read an excerpt from her speech from 1851 called Ain't I a Woman? She is an abolitionist, an abolitionist and women's rights activist. So here we go. Sojourner Truth's transformation from a slave in rural New York to a sharp-tongued, charismatic speaker, able to mesmerize and charm, is well known. Born into a Dutch-speaking household around 1797, she was sold away from her family at about the age of 9. 2 decades later, around the time slavery was outlawed in New York, she escaped her master's property. She later sued, successfully, for her son Peter's freedom. In 1843, she had a spiritual awakening and changed her name to Sojourner Truth. She began delivering anti-slavery sermons, bolstered by sales of her memoir, Narrative of Sojourner Truth, a Northern Slave, which she wrote by dictation. Truth could neither read nor write. In 1851, at the Ohio Women's Rights Convention, she delivered her most famous speech, Ain't I a Woman? She made a lasting impression, and several versions of her words have circulated over the years. The one reprinted most often, which became a touchstone for feminists and civil rights activists, was recorded from memory by the white abolitionist Frances Gage in 1863, 12 years after the original speech. Gage gave Truth, a born New Yorker, a misplaced Southern dialect. Some historians have also suggested that Gage introduced the phrase, "Aren't I a woman?" later written as Ain't I a Woman. Reproduced here is a version recorded closer to the time by the Reverend Marius Robinson, a friend of Truth's, published in the newspaper The Anti-Slavery Bulge. It likely provides a more accurate rendering of Truth's extraordinary voice. Ain't I a Woman, 1851. I want to say a few words about this matter. I am a woman's rights. I have as much muscle as any man, and can do as much work as any man. I have plowed and reaped and husked and chopped and mowed, and can any man do more than that? I've heard much about the sexes being equal. I can carry as much as any man, and can eat as much too, if I can get it. I am as strong as any man that is now. As for intellect, all I can say is, if women have a pint, and man a quart, why can't she have her little pint full? You need not be afraid to give us our rights for fear we will take too much, for we can't take more than our pint will hold. The poor men seem to be all in confusion and don't know what to do. Why, children, if you have women's rights, give it to her, and you will feel better. You will have your own rights, and they won't be so much trouble. I can't read, but I can hear. I have heard the Bible, and have learned that Eve caused man to sin. Well, if women upset the world, do give her a chance to set it right side up again. The lady has spoken about Jesus, how he never spurned woman from him, and she was right. And how came Jesus into the world? Through God, who created him, and woman, who bore him. Man, where is your part? T. But the women are coming up, blessed be God, and a few of the men are coming up with them. But man is in a tight place. The poor slave is on him. Women is coming in on him. And he is surely between a hawk and a buzzard. I kind of love that last line. It reminds me of like a rock in a hard place, a hawk and a buzzard. And it's funny, I see two birds outside my window right now. Yeah. I think my favorite part is this sentence here. You need not be afraid to give us our rights why do I keep saying feel? Let me try this again. You need not be afraid to give us our rights, for fear we will take too much. For we can't take more than our pint will hold. And, I'm not too familiar with, like, the saying or expression that, like, women have a pint and men a quart, because I feel like that's BS, bull honky. But I do love the sentiment, because I remember, this is from a video I saw a while ago, years ago, and I believe it was like a street interview about gay marriage. I think it was probably around 2015 when gay marriage, was legalized federally. And they were interviewing these people, and I think it was like more conservative people that they were interviewing, because I think they wanted that perspective. And the guy was saying, like, not the interviewer, the person being interviewed was saying, like, they just want too much, they want more power than straight people. Like, gay people want more rights. And the guy was like, the interviewer was like, so equal is more to you? The guy was like, yeah. And it was just like, it was kind of funny. Like, I don't really like that interview and that style of interview. I think I've talked about this. Like, I don't really like the type of interview where they're sort of making a joke out of people's potential, like, ignorance. Like, I'm not really a huge fan of it. I feel like it doesn't really help anybody. But I do think it was funny, like, them saying that, like, equal is more. Equal rights for gay people and straight people. No, that's the gays wanting more, Yeah. We need not be afraid of everyone having equal rights. Like, I think that's sort of the narrative, like, the justification for a lot of things around the world. Like, the United States specifically, like, not being where the conflict is taking place. Like, a lot of people are okay with that because they think it means, like, it's okay for there to be famine, for there to be conflict, fighting, war, whatever, as long as it's not affecting them, because they think it's necessary. Like, it's not necessary at all. Like, hunger is man-made. Or it's allowed to be happening because of humans and humankind. Like, there is enough food and enough place on this earth to grow enough food and feed everyone. And there's a lot of food waste on this planet because of this bullshit called money. Okay, yeah, let's not get into it. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you later. I love guava juice.